Okay, doing a VOD review for SigmaAdmi, who requested some help on his game. He said it felt like a winnable game. He tried his best but didn't know what to do better. I would love to help you, SigmaAdmi. You did not specify a particular hero in your post, which already suggested to me that you ended up switching a lot in this game. And I've just hovered over your name here, and it shows that you played 6 different characters, 5 DPS and a tank. I think this is kind of insane. I don't know exactly what characters you play. You can actually have a look here on comp. Yeah, I mean, you played them a little bit, sure, but you've played Star-Lord once. I've look at all seasons, I guess. Wow, yeah, so you've played like almost none of these characters and you're just jumping into competitive with them. I think that's a pretty bad idea. Generally, if you're switching this much, you're kind of throwing and going to lose, I would say. Sometimes it's good to get a tactical switch to a hard counter or something that's just much easier to play into a certain comp. But for the most part, I would not recommend switching because you'll just get better at the characters that you are playing more commonly. This is totally insane, and this is always, I think, a sign that you lost. Honestly, this almost never ends in a win, playing this many characters. I mean, that said, this guy also switched a bunch, Jesus. But yeah, I just, as a rule of thumb, I don't think this is a good idea. I mean, let's see what caused you to do this, but I would try and limit it to like 1 or 2 switches a game, maybe. I think that will give you a lot more success in the long run, because you'll just be focused on 2 particular characters and learn their ups and downs, and it's likely that whatever is giving you problems or grief in the game, it's not because of your character, it's probably because of your play. And switching just kind of covers that up and means that you never actually learn what you were doing wrong in the first place. So I hope that's clear. Let's have a look what you're up to. Okay, Spiderman. You start off the game as Spiderman. This looks fine, looks like a decent position. That looked kind of pointless to me. I am no Spider-Man expert at all, but I am well aware of what Spider-Man does and wants to do. And I'm pretty sure that what Spider-Man does not want to do is shoot Magneto and then swing away. You now only have, 1 web left. And so you've got to wait a decent while. Yeah, that seemed totally pointless to me. If you are set up in that front position, I would be trying to go in and punch the healers at least, or the DPS, or just wait a bit longer. That was totally pointless. Now this is more like it, because this gives you a nice backwards position. But if you look, you now only have 1 web left, which might come in handy and might be important. So yeah, that play at the start was really not worth it, because you used 2 webs and didn't really get anything. Okay. Unlucky. I don't think I'm staying in this fight here as Spider-Man. I know I guess you're trying to get some ult charge, but none of these people are going to die. The supports are looking at each other, healing each other. Mantis is being healed by Rocket. Rocket's being healed by Mantis. Nothing is going to happen here. And also, Venom is on top of you, so you've got limited time. I would just swing out and reset after the failed kill on Rocket. Like you do now. Okay, that's fine. But again, now you've got 0 webs, which is difficult, because that means when you go in, it's going to be more difficult to be mobile, and it just slows your whole game plan down. So definitely try to be more economical with those webs, I think. we go. This is better. Just let them recharge. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That was a little unfortunate that you ended up, I think, missing the Spider-Man and yeah, going on a read happens. I actually don't. I think you would be better off here going for Rocket. He's closer to you, which makes your web easier to hit. Rocket isn't the hardest character to kill with Spider-Man. And he's further split from his team. He's not looking at you. I know the others aren't either, but he's just a totally decent target, and he's probably a higher value kill as well. So I think your target selection's a bit off here. Certainly think you could have hit that Rocket. So you actually end up webbing both of them. That's why you get dragged to the read. Fair enough. A little unfortunate. I assume didn't want that. After he uses his defensive form, you should just leave because he's right in front of his healers. He's already up to over half health. This isn't going to get you a kill, so you should have just left here. So overstaying is an issue for sure. So skip forward. Spider-Man, it's a nice rollout. Unlucky. Okay. Back into the fight. Yeah, trying to shoot Venom. Not very valuable. I'd be looking to try and do what you did earlier. Just swing really deep in. Ideally where they can't quite see you coming in, and go for Rocket or Mantis. I mean, Mantis is pretty easy kill as Spider-Man, especially after her health reduction. Taking the Spider-Man duel, not going to happen because he's being healed. And now resetting. There's a good reset here. Let your cooldowns charge back up. Okay. Again, you're kind of swinging in here like directly along main, which is usually, I think, a bad idea as Spider-Man. I just know from playing against him a lot. The more time that you see Spider-Man, the easier he is to deal with. He works best when you're like he's not in your field of vision, right? He's kind of swinging all the way around the outside and just keeps popping up when you least expect him, and he's really annoying. If you just stay on main and swing down main, everyone's aware of where you are, and they can deal with you appropriately. They can heal each other, prepare their cooldowns, etc. So I think your routes of swinging in could do some work as well. Do with some work. And yeah, you get killed. Exactly. So yeah, they saw you and killed you easily. Definitely be a bit more stealthy, I think. Okay. You're just kind of firing into the middle of a whole bunch of people here. This also seems unlikely to net you a kill. Fantastic is pretty good at dealing with you. Magneto's okay. Yeah, this just seems unlikely to work, but let's see. Okay, that's an ult. You should just leave here. Don't leave. Okay, you get the cloak ult, sure. This is, I assume, a kill. Yes, this was much better, right? So you wait for you use the cloak ult to like stay in the fight and keep healing up, and then you see Mantis is isolated. This is exactly what you should be doing. You get the tracer on her, and then this is all but guaranteed. So nice job here. This is what you should be doing. And then you should swing here. You should swing out, heal up, reset. Not this. This. Oh, how are you not? Okay. You get so lucky here. You just went down the road that like 2 or 3 enemies were on 20 health. At high ranks, you're definitely going to die here. So I would have. You've got a nice kill here. I'm swinging over here. No one's looking at you here. Go for this health pack. much better idea. You can reset, and then you're still behind them, right? And you can maybe go for the read or someone else. I think Rocket's still alive, so I think that's a better play. This is so risky. I don't even know how Fantastic doesn't kill you here. This is a free kill. I think he just misses, and then Magneto doesn't see you. Venom doesn't see you. Crazy. Okay, let's skip forward a bit. Going for Rocket. This is nice kill. Yeah, maybe didn't need the ult, but fine. It's okay to secure a kill. At least it was a good target selection, at least. Okay, so again, swinging down main. This is always risky, as I said. Look, Fantastic is looking at you, and he's ready to deal with you. So is Mantis. Would have been nice to have your ult here. Yeah. I'm still not sure if it was worth using on that Rocket. It is nice to get a kill, and Rocket can be tricky to kill. But yeah, it would be nice to use your ult in a big play. But so be it. Okay. Anyway, you have died. I'm just curious when you actually start switching. Does this game... Oh, here we go. I thought that might make you switch. So you feel like the Spider-Man isn't working, you switch to Magik. This is fine, I guess. I think this is a totally playable game for Spider-Man. You have some good targets. Mantis and Rocket, certainly killable. But let's see how the Magik goes. I actually know a lot more about Magik, so I might be able to help you a bit more here.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Okay, it's weird. What happens here? Okay, so you can see this is a lost fight here. You shouldn't be doing anything. I would just use this time to set up somewhere useful. So maybe you could dash up here, or like onto this platform, or go behind here. Just try and set up somewhere useful. I don't think it's a great idea to just stand on main and see where you go. But yeah, not this for sure. I'm going to try and peel Spider-Man off your team. Don't know how much time you have on Magik. I wouldn't have done it exactly this way. Just kind of dash to the side and let him get away. I think I'm honestly just dash at him here. He's quite low. See? He wasn't that low when he went. But yeah, I would probably just dash at him and then at least start the combo. Or just even let him walk into you and start meleeing, and then when he dashes away, then you can follow him with your dash. That's probably a better way because he wasn't looking at you. But anything is probably better than what you actually ended up doing. Okay, so don't like this position. I think I would have tried to move forward into a off angle and get a slightly more aggressive position. Doesn't mean you actually need to just go down main and face them, but yeah, I think you could have actually set up a bit better, because this is where everyone looks, right? You've played this map before. When people come around this corner, everyone looks here. So you don't. It's the same as Spider-Man, right? You don't want people looking at you when you're playing Magik, really. You want to be in places where they have to turn around to look at you. You want to come in from behind. So yeah, you just don't want to be standing on main. And you'll end up taking a whole bunch of damage for this. Yeah. And now you're running away. Yeah. Okay, so I hope that's clear why you ended up dying there. Try to work on your position and get into a better spot before you even see the enemy. Okay, so going down main again. This might end poorly again. We'll see. Okay, attacking the tanks. Miss the demon. This is okay. But not getting very much value. This is much better. I like this. I think you could have actually stayed there longer on that guy. Summon a demon, does lots of damage to tanks. dash into him, couple of melees, might not die, but you get loads of ult charge and loads of damage. I think that would have been a good idea. Because once again you're on main and nothing's really happening here. Magneto's just going to shoot at you while being healed. This is a bit better. Didn't need to use your portal there. Okay, I think you need a lot of practice on Magik. It's a difficult character, honestly. So is Spiderman, so you're not even making it easier for yourself, to be honest. But these are characters that just need a lot of practice. Let's go back to where you attack these supports. So I like this idea here. So first of all, you waste a portal. This is really bad because now when you go in, look, you've got no portals, and that is terrible. You definitely want portals for when you're diving on the healers because it helps you stay alive and helps you summon demons. So you did not need to use this one. You should have just walked through here. You're surveying what's happening in the fight. This is actually a really nice opportunity. Nobody's looking at you. This is a great opportunity to cause loads of mayhem, probably get a kill, and at least, you know, cause them all to look at you and give some respite for your team. Nice combo here, charging up the ranged attack. This is a really good way to start off for sure. That's nice. Couldn't immediately dash into this guy. That's a pretty common combo. Rather than actually just doing the whirlwind combo, the whirlwind dash, this is actually just as effective. Yeah, charge up your ranged attack and then dash in straight after. I think you probably would have killed this Mantis, but instead you use the portal and then go for the whirlwind dash and miss it. Yeah, so you don't actually need to use the whirlwind dash all the time. I know it's a popular combo on YouTube Shorts and TikTok or whatever, but it has its place for sure. But that was a situation where you could have easily just dashed in and killed that Mantis without using it. I think you over-focused on this combo. And then you keep meleeing this guy, which is fine. And then you run away. I actually don't think you needed to run away here. No one's really shooting you. I think you had a little more time. You've got loads of health. Look, you've built up your passive. I think you could have kept the pressure up on this Mantis. And then that's fine. Nice peel. Okay, let's have a little more to look at. Okay, whole bunch of ults going out. You should kill this rocket ult while there's nothing else to do. They're all fully healed, so there's no point attacking them. Instead, you're just kind of standing around doing nothing. You look a bit confused. Then you die. You don't die. You're lucky again. Wow, very fortunate this game. Okay, and you do die. Okay, that's a really risky Dark Child, but you're lucky that pays off. You usually want to use this in cover or when people aren't looking at you, not when you're already being attacked, because it puts you into an uncancelable animation. And when everyone hears "Behold, Dark Child," they all look at you and try to kill you as soon as possible. It's a big, like, kill me button. It's a bit like Overwatch Genji, if you ever played Overwatch. But if not, yeah, it's the same as Iron Fist in this game, right? When he starts his ult, everyone just turns around and tries to kill you. So puts a huge target on your back, which is why you definitely want to use it in a more stealthy way. This is fine though. This is nice. Yeah, you're using this semi-correctly, I would say. Want to keep using the portals and the spin attack, which is correct. That does the most damage. There are more clever things you can do later on, but that's a way to get at least 80% of the value, I would say. So decent place to start, and Mantis counters it with her ult. One thing I would say though is when you're using that kind of ult, it's the same with Iron Fist ult. Just try and keep focus on one target. It's very easy to just get in the middle of the enemies and start spamming damage, but not actually secure any kills. I would have tried to, focus on someone, and it can be quite difficult, when everything's going on and it's really hard to keep track, but that's a skill for sure, to try and keep track of someone and finish them off. And then I guess you die here. Okay, so I'm going to finish the review here because I already think there's loads to talk about. I'm assuming this is a long game, and you said it was winnable. You don't seem significantly worse than these players, so yeah, I can understand why. But there's already loads to work on, so let's just keep it at this because it will be too complicated otherwise. But to summarize, you're playing two kind of divey, DPS. One is slightly more divey than the other, Spiderman. But I think just generally, the main tip I would say is that you're way too visible to the enemy all the time. You're not really taking any sneaky routes. You're going down the main road a lot of the time. They always see you, and they're always ready to use their cooldowns and shoot back at you. You should be much more sneaky and evasive with how you're setting things up. An example of where something actually did go right, or at least the idea was correct, was when you went through here as Magik and you saw the whole team open up here and you had a nice angle on the supports. You didn't execute correctly, but that's just practice. But the idea was totally correct. You should do this a lot more. And if you were Spider-Man, you instead of like swinging straight down here, right, and fighting around here, you want to take like a big round swing as Spider-Man and then get right in behind them. Because they won't be looking at you, and that's the easiest way to get kills. So that's the number one advice I would give you if you're looking to play this kind of character, is try to engage when they're not looking at you and they don't know where you're coming from, and I guarantee you'll have way more success. And then the other thing is you're just using your cooldowns like kind of out of combat for nothing. You did it with Spider-Man, just kind of wasting your web swings and not really achieving very much, and then that meant that when you actually did go in, you didn't have them to get out. And the same with Magik. You just kind of portaled around with not much reason to it, and that meant that when you did go in, you didn't have a portal, and that got you killed. So yeah, those are two very concrete things to work on for sure. Don't stay on main when you're playing a flanker. Try and set up and go behind them, and don't use your cooldowns unnecessarily, when you're not actually fighting, because it will hurt you. Hope that helps. Good luck in your next games.